And in keeping with the spirit and the tone of being lively and informative, we'd like to invite Dr. Rob Steele.
Thanks, guys. Pretty fast. First off, thanks for commenting on the U of M stuff, because if you look at my prescription for Dr. Steele's prescription for success at the University of Michigan in 2013 and 2015, you would have seen protection of students' rights on campus, including the First, Second, and Fourth Amendments. But anyway, RNC update here. A lot of people don't understand what the RNC does exactly, but the RNC is the political arm of the White House. When Donald Trump is in Arizona, or when he's in North Dakota, or when he's in Pennsylvania doing a rally, the RNC is paying for that. It's not taxpayer money. So we are actually the political arm of the White House, and our main job, the RNC's main job, is to re-elect the president and to do whatever we can to support the president. The RNC also runs the nominating committee, runs the convention committee, you know, finds the location for the convention, that sort of stuff. And in getting people re-elected, one of the big deals for the RNC is data. And I'll refer to YouTube. If you go to GOP War Room or GOP RNC's YouTube channels, you'll see Hillary Clinton praising the RNC's data and denigrating the DNC's data. And the RNC data is actually incredible. We've had 4 special elections. They've all turned on very small margin, and it was all because of the RNC data that was available to the candidates there and the staffers that the RNC sent into those special elections. There's a lot of frustration, obviously, among the conservatives here, including myself, of course, with a lot of the different elections that go on, and you know, the people who campaign on one thing to get into office, and then they do something that's entirely different, and that's a huge, huge concern. And so the RNC doesn't play in primaries, but of course the NRCC, the National Republican Congressional Committee, and the National Republican Senatorial Committee sometimes will, and we see that going on down in Alabama right now in a very dastardly sort of way, because maybe some of you have donated to the NRSC, maybe not, but just the general notion that when you're donating to the NRSC, you're expecting that money to be used to beat Democrats,
right,
not beat Republicans. And so, you know, that's the way of the swamp. So, you know, be careful where you donate your money, and if you have limited funds to donate, you donate to the candidate you want to donate to, because that's the most important money they have. They can use it in any way they choose. They don't have to get anybody's permission or coordinate or do whatever. So candidate money is always important. If you've got money left over and you want to support Trump, the RNC is a great place for it, because the RNC is all in for Trump. And when it comes to the nominating committee, well, and so money. The RNC has just been a fundraising machine so far since Ron has come in. They've raised $87 million compared to $42 million for the DNC. We have $48 million in the bank compared to $3 million for the DNC. Now, the DNC is in horrible disarray, and the RNC is completely focused on Trump and getting him the support he needs. And I would say not only have we raised huge amounts of money, we've been breaking records in large number donations, and we've also broken all the records for small dollar donations. We have almost twice as much small dollar donations as the Democrats. The grassroots throughout the country are all in for Trump, and we see that in the RNC data incredibly. Unfortunately, a lot of our members in the House and Congress aren't all in for anything that has to do with conservatism, and so we still have a lot of work to do there on having them support the platform. And that leads me to also the RNC being very frustrated by that, and we actually just passed a resolution at the last meeting, which was in August, a resolution in support of our President platform and promises. And the key lines here is, be it resolved, this is unanimous, the RNC calls upon all Republicans serving in the U.S. House and Senate to fulfill your campaign promises by showing your courage supporting the platform, repealing Obamacare, protecting our borders, improving our national debt, eliminating burdensome regulation, and improving our national security. The RNC is wildly unhappy with the House and Senate. The last thing I would say is that Rana has done an unbelievable job. I mean, you know, I've only been on the RNC for a year, and of course when we came in, everybody was all freaked out because Priebus has been there for 6 years, and everybody thought he was great. And at the last meeting, it just, everybody was, God, we didn't know what we were going to do. And Rana, it's just been a love fest out there with the donors and with the people trying to get things done. She has regular conference calls with the president. She has an amazing access to the president. And so anything that we're doing is always coordinated with the president. Now, obviously, no one's going to call the president an ideological conservative. You know, we need conservative judges. He's done a great job on judges, and we'll go for that. And then we got to keep steering into the conservative direction, regardless. And as it comes to just confirm to everybody that Rana and the leadership and the RNC is all in for Trump. The nominating committee that was just put together is being chaired by the co-chair of the RNC, Bob Baduchek. And Bob was the chair for Trump in Ohio and worked very closely with Trump in Ohio. And it is absolutely no accident that the chair of the nominating committee was a previous co-chair for Trump. And that committee has had one meeting, and that committee is going to go great. And so this whole idea, also in the past, rules have always been a big issue. But, you know, rules aren't such an issue anymore because we have a Republican president. We're used to dealing with the RNC without a Republican president. And so the battle was always at the rules, because the battle at rules was all the people on the RNC fighting to get the rules to the advantage for their candidate. We no longer have that. We have the RNC united behind Trump and trying to help get some of the things done that were on the campaign promises, and then to get the House and Senate to live up to some of their responsibilities as well. So that's all I wanted to say, but if there are any questions, whatever your timing is, I'm happy to answer.
Anybody
If
have
I
a question
can.
for Rob?
Thank you.
He does great work as our national committeeman. A big round of applause.